Oh well. I have to actually enter the game. I'm Alexis, and today will be a run of feature-connected neighbor-sense casual. For the bid war, do you know who won it for the player character and language?
Absolutely. So the language choice, having raised $100, our number one selection is English. And for the character choice, it was truly neck and neck, but barely clinching it by just a $4 difference. Your character for this is going to be Nene. Thank you so much to everyone who donated.
First time I'll be doing a run as her then for a marathon. It's pretty cool to do. Alright, so anyways, we'll go and get into how things work and start a countdown now of 3, 2, 1, go. First thing we're gonna do is the opening cutscene is the end of Xenoblade 1 because this is the kind of epilogue to Xenoblade 1. So this is literally the final cutscene, but thankfully we're gonna skip it right away. And do another super duper duper important thing is I'm going to switch on the casual mode. As that's going to make a big difference. It basically gets rid of the effect that levels have when fights and doubles my damage and halves the damage I take. And also, we will have to do this part as Melia, as we do not have Nene yet. She's over there fighting some wolves. She actually gets to take one out. You'll see there's 4, but we're only going to fight 3. She's going to one-shot one of those in a cutscene. Anyways, alright, menu. I'm going to switch to Nene, or switch Melia into the party. I'm also going to go to Melia's arts and change them a bit. This for some stuff that's going to help later. There's Flexing. Alright, and we're going to get into our first fight. So I'm going to use something called Hangry. It's going to go in and reduce the damage I take. And then we're going to force the party to attack that one, and then I'm going to attack this other one with Lariat and Sword Throw. They all generally fall around the same time. Alright. And sorry if it wasn't the best example of a fight. The first fight is a bit chaotic, but we'll get some later ones that will go into more detail about how the combat mechanics work in the game. But the main goal is Nene is a tank, and so my goal is to make sure the enemies are attacking her at all times, or as much as I can manage. So this is going to be the Bionis shoulder. It was like an area that was cut from the original release, but it's been repurposed as this epilogue. And we basically, Nene and her brother Kino, snuck on board the ship Junks. We'll be there in a little bit. It kind of got crash landed on there. And so they snuck in and they joined the party. And now we saw some fire. So there's going to be a town nearby. And first thing we're going to be able to do is to go there because we need to get our ship fixed. And we're going to be there. It's very nice. Actually, I get to go and see. Nene is a very adorable walking animation. And I'm going to skip travel. Despite the fact I'm literally just got the location, it is frames faster to just skip travel there. We'll be doing that a few times in the run. This skip travel is going to be a lot of distance, though. It's going to be over to the Junks. And we're now going to head towards that 8. I'm going to try to avoid either that wolf over there, the right seeing me, because the cutscenes load a teeny bit slower if you have that little red circle. That means you have aggro, and like I mentioned, I'm going to try to have that on me in fights, but during cutscenes we do not want to have that. speaking of cutscenes, this is the only unskippable one in the game. It's also the only one that I'm going to have to go and master. This fellow over here is Tentu. He is a Pawn Spectre. Throughout the run, we're going to be collecting 3 Pawn Spectres of different colored flags. This is super, super important because when you get 3 of those, I'm going to unlock a new combat ability, and it's going to become our main boss killer for the later half of the run. But for now, we only have 1, and the other 2 are technically optional, but the ones we're going to get are ones that don't require much fighting, so you don't have to worry about how hard their quests may be. And of course, 10-2, we just get given to us. They're technically the only one that's required, because we can't get to the cutscenes over here without getting that one. You'll see there's a Pawn Spectre right in front of us. You see the flag. We're not doing that one. That one is a very hard fight. And we would be here for a very long time if we attempted to do Evelyn. Instead, we're going to go and begin our first little walk. I'm going to be trying to go and get a bunch of skip travel points so that we won't have to go and do a lot of walking later in the run. So you can see that little, like, structure over there. We only need to move to this little rock to get the skip travel. And once we get that, we're going to run into this direction. I'm going to run towards this big gate. It's going to be a bit of a walk, though.
Personally, I'm a huge fan of large walking segments of runs. Just vibes and scenery.
While we vibe, can I share some community love with you?
Yep.
Amazing. We have $25 here from Tootie the Fruity, who says, and this is in all caps, so I'm just going to go generically impressive for this. Born in a world of strife against the odds, we choose to donate. Blossom Dance. Now, that's not a boss, but I'm assuming that is a Xenoblade reference.
That is a Xenoblade reference, although it won't be in this run.
We will take it nonetheless. We also have $10 here from Wayward Rosalind, who says, no pawns, my beloved. And that I do actually know is Xenoblade, so you're gonna have to try a little bit harder to fool me. But thank you so much for these kind donations.
Alright, we're gonna get to the first, I guess we can call this skip of the run. We need to get to a quarry, and it's very, very, very far away. And it would be a lot of walking, and we like walking, but occasionally we can just drop on this little cliff. So now we're out of combat and we're healing, and we also didn't die of fall damage because we had a cliff to break our fall. And then we have this little cliff, which also is very convenient, because both of those being in that area allowed me to skip 5 minutes of walking around by on his shoulder. And fall damage is scaled in this game, so like having a higher level wouldn't have been able to help. We always can do it. Nene has the most HP. But that doesn't make it like she can't do it in one go, sadly. She will, however, have a later part in the run where her HP does make a difference while we're walking. And yes, it says we are in fact going to Alchemoth, but right now I'm ignoring the story and I'm going in the complete opposite direction of Alchemoth. We are going as far away as we can from Alchemoth, and now we're in the Forbidden Huskland. This area has a lot of like dinosaurs in it. You're going to see a really big one coming up. Also, there's this toad. It might attack me, and I used to always think these enemies, the noise, I don't know if we can hear it well, kind of sound like the dinosaur. Here's our big dinosaur. We're also going to see another one up there. We will eventually be fighting one, just not quite yet. And there's our quarry. Once I get this quarry, we are done doing optional stuff for a bit, and we actually will go and see what's going on in Alchemoth, because we were told when we went to the town that there was something named the Fog King. And that's what Alchemoth is, sort of like. Big floaty city. We're gonna have to use a teleporter to get there because Nene actually, I think the Nopon can fly lightly, but we are not going to be able to fly that far away, so we have to use a teleporter. Alright, so we're about to enter here, and I mentioned this a lot, is there's a lot of spiders in this area. That's because the Bananas Shoulder is the birthplace of the giants, and long lore story is a bunch of giants were killed by giant spiders. So anytime we get to like giant ruins, which is a lot of places here, we're gonna have a bunch of giant spiders around. Think about something like they had a person who could play a flute and prevent them from growing, but then that person died, and then the spiders kept growing. And now there's no more giants. Alright, gonna do a little skip job. I got it before we got the notification. That's pretty nice. And that's again, just skip traveling moves me so much forward that it's faster than walking by a few seconds sometimes.
It's a very speedrun friendly game if the fast travel like operates so quickly. Like I'm really impressed by the load time.
Yeah, I remember actually because Rebirth came out recently and they were mentioning how fast the loads are in it, and I'm like, we already have that in Future Connected. I believe loads are actually pretty good in this game. It's only like a second or two per area. Alright, our last long bridge. There's our little teleporter. Oh, and it's also raining. That's marginally plays a role in something in the run, but mostly I like when it rains during the final boss because it looks cool. Unfortunately, we are a little too early in the run for that to happen. This rain will last about 6-7 minutes of gameplay, so we won't get it. I do also get it. We do get the Alchemoth though. I always think this reminds me of the ghost ship from Wind Waker, if anyone knows what that is. How Alchemoth looks at rain in the middle of the night. So we did get to see that, so that's good. We got something out of the rain. And there you can see our little goal over there. So we're going to be going up this platform.
While we teleport into Alchemoth, may I jump in for a moment?
Yep.
I just wanted to let everyone know that our next milestone bonus game is now additionally open. If we raise $58,000 total by the end of the day, we will get to add a 100% no restrictions run of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX. That's by Claire Lindy. You do not want to miss it. So let's keep up those donations. Thanks, everyone.
Yep. Oh, I love LA speedruns, actually, so that's definitely a run that I recommend anyone look out for. Alright, and yes, we have just made an Alchemoth, and now we're going to do a Pond Spectre quest. There we go. Dry. Hello, Dry. Dry wants to be High Enthia. That's, what Elia is. So we're going to try to help him by collecting some feathers throughout the city and make him a crown. What's really nice about this Pond Spectre quest is at this point in the story, there are no enemies in Alchemoth. So, we can just do this quest without any opposition. I'm just gonna walk and collect the red orbs, and there's not gonna be an enemy. If you are in combat, you can't collect stuff, and that will come up later in the run, but for now, it's just gonna be do a little walk, and Nene can make that jump, thankfully. Her brother, Kino, due to how short his model is, he actually gets in the water there and gets in a swimming animation and can't jump, but Nene is just tall enough that she can do that. Right? Fourth one, and the fountain we got, it's faster to move than moving than just good fountain, and there we go. We have finished Dry's quest. He is extremely happy. I actually love his dialogue. He yells the Pond Spectre catchphrase during this, although we'll hear it many times in the run. I'm sadly going to match it with Quacksilver if we first hear it then. And now, when we got into Alchemoth, we heard a scream, and we think this is going to be the Fog King. You see, there is a big foreboding riff over there. So this means we're going to get into a boss fight, and I will generally be describing how combat as Nene works. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my aura, Angry. It's going to go and cause a spite, which means every time they hit me, they take damage. And it also reduces damage, so Nene will have a more survivability. Then I'm going to use all of my offensive arts, basically in order of their cooldowns, just to make sure that Nene has high ground. And now I'm going to try to go and sort of turn the boss so that Shalt is on hopefully to either the side or the back. Because when he does that, his attacks have special effects. So we're going to be trying to kind of have Shalt help us out throughout this run. Alright, and fight should be... Oh, it's already here. Whoops. Yeah, that fight is kind of symbolic of how most of this is going to work. I'm going to just try to use arts as quickly as I can to just hope that Nene does not get out-aggroed by Shulk. Because that will become pretty important later in the run. As I was doing some testing, and sometimes, tragically, Nene is lower level than Shulk. You see right here, she's about 1 level lower. This means it kind of can make some fights a little more difficult, but we will be alright.
I think the trade-off is we get this adorable bouncy character, which will help keep our spirits high while we contend with the level difference.
Yep. There's also a really funny line that's going to be towards the end. I won't spoil what it is. It's something I've always laughed about when playing as Nene. We'll get there towards the very end of the run. Anyways, what happened was that was not the Fog King. That was just something that was corrupted by the Fog King. We actually did try to fight the Fog King in the cutscene though, but the whole reason they're so scary is we can't hit them. Like, our attacks just go through them. We did nothing effectively, and we had to flee Alchemoth. But we did save someone named Talene, very minor side character in Xenoblade 1. I've been doing research on some stuff with Palethia, which are high Entia turned into, like, dragons. And anyway, they told us to go to another town over here called Grandel. We're going to meet someone that might help us figure out how we're going to attack the Fog King. You can see Grandel very easily in the distance. It's where that giant tower is. We don't get to climb it in this category. It's very fun and sometimes frustrating to climb because jumping mechanics can be a little janky in Xenoblade, but we do not get to climb the giant tower. Instead, we are going to continue towards these ramparts.
While we continue, can I pop in with some more potential bosses?
Alright.
First of all, let me just say thank you so much, everyone. These donations have been coming in. We are already a third of the way there. $675 raised out of $2,000 for that Neon Beats category upgrade. Let's keep the momentum going here. I have, to that end, $50 from Kit, who says, "My brother tried to convince me to play Xenoblade for over a decade and I never listened. Now we have matching Xenoblade tattoos on our legs. This game means everything to me and I'm so excited to see it run. The future is ours and it is decided here. P.S. My favorite boss is Prosecutor Davram." And I'm going to say that's not real. That's like Bloodborne or something.
That is tragically real. We won't be seeing them this run, but in 100%, they are one of the hardest fights.
Alright, GG's, Kit, you got me.
That's the super boss of this, and thankfully we don't fight them. Like, I can't even do that like as a random incentive or anything, because we would stand no chance at the end of the run. That's what you could do. It's actually if we collected every fun sector, but we're going to be collecting only one more, and we're doing it right after some shopping. We're getting a new weapon. What's nice is that we actually go and see stuff in this one, so we'll equip it in a little bit when we get to a menu. So for this, we're going to be doing Tutu's quest. Tutu has a problem. He had a mirror, but he dropped it. And see, this means that Tutu can't go and join us because he has to look at his reflection, and so he's in the lake looking at his reflection. So he tells us that we are big fans of him, and if we go to this lake, we'll be able to go and get his mirror, and then he'll be able to join our party. And this quest is we're going to get the item before we start the quest, but this is going to be level 74 technically for the quest, but you can just walk in a straight line and just get the item without doing any fights. So very easy quest. And now we're going to head towards Suto.
Do you have any limit on the swimming in this game, or can you just like swim infinitely?
You can swim infinitely. We'll be swimming one more time in the run. Actually, in this kind of area. First, we gotta go finish Tutu's quest, and we already finished it, so just gonna go and get that. And this will go and get us all 3 of our different color constructors. This means we can use Union Strikes, which are going to be super duper duper important in just a few minutes. But first, we should actually meet Razdan, because we need one information on Fog King. Alright, so we're going to change equipment. We're going to give Nene her weapon, and I'm also going to hook the gem to Melia. And now we're going to go and do our big level up. I'm basically going to be focusing on the arts we're going to use the most in the run. And go and get Silver Shock as well. Finally, we're going to go and do Melia. Alright, and now we're going to go and we're back to where we went to Alchemoth and begin a fight against some Ponios. This might be the first fight in this little chain I'm going to be doing, but this one is actually the most dangerous. So we're going to use Hangry, then Aratos is going to reduce the damage output, then I'm going to use my taunts, and just begin to use my arts. Alright, so we got our first one. Hopefully I can go and have a break there. Alright, nice. So our punch vectors actually helped us and give us a little topple. That's the green and, like, pink bar above. And they're going to be pretty important in some of the later fights.
That was some tight tech. Really cool.
Alright, and now we're going to get to our second fight, which is really funny. This one is actually way easier. We're back in town fighting 2 armies. They're way lower level, but we're going to have a similar opening where I'm going to use my aura, which lets me use Aratos. And now I'm just going to go and basically go and topple, then I'll daze them, and then I saw that they're dead, so I'm going to switch the party over. So that's one thing I'll be doing throughout the fights as well. I'll be kind of trying to manage the party. And there we go. Just kind of waiting for them to take them out. Sometimes you just don't have any arts and you just kind of wait a second. Anyways, now we're doing a more serious boss. You might notice that blue meter in the corner. You might notice it turned orange a little bit. That means when it does that, I can do a Union Strike. So as soon as it turns orange, we're going to go and do our Union Strike. This is going to be a quick time event, and the better I do on it, the more damage we do. Alright, pretty good. And this is one of the ones where I want to do a good job, as there will be some where I don't want to. You'll understand when we get there. But anyways, I'm going to try to topple, then daze Galgar, because I don't want Galgar to heal. Looks like he's about down. Now I'm going to use Sword Drive, and there's the 2 better damage moves. And now we're just kind of chilling. Got some Xenoblade Beat here. And one or two more attacks should do it. Alright, there we go. Gelgar has fallen. Gelgar is kind of weird to explain in the context of a marathon, as it's basically a character who's been following our party throughout the run. He wants Melia to become the new queen of Hyantia, and when he rejects her ideas, they basically get into a fight. Anyways, now that we cleared up the Fog Beast, as well as Gelgar, we're going to be focusing on finding something called High Ether. So I just talked to a soldier. He doesn't know where anything is, but he does know another soldier here. He's a little, further along, so he might know. And he's not going to know either, but he does know a woman named Sarja who does know. So I'm going to go back to Prayer Rock, and we're going to go and swim on over to a graveyard to speak to Sarja.
While we swim, can I come back at you with another knowledge check?
Yep.
Amazing. First of all, checking in on that category upgrade incentive, we are at $700 raised out of 2,000. We're doing good pace, but I want to see that momentum building across this and the next Xenoblade run. I also have $25 here from Classic Squid with no comment, but thank you so much. As well as $25 from Lexi Plays Fast, who says, question, is Goldface a Xenoblade boss or a character from The Office? And that's such a ridiculous choice there. I'm going to say Office because Metalface is a Xenoblade thing, right?
That sounds correct.
I have also not seen The Office, so we're doing great. The vibes are immaculate. Thank you so much for that donation. Let's see Plays Fast, and be sure to let me know how wrong I am.
No, I am like 90% sure that Goldface is an Office character because they're like watching a movie that's like a like James Bond Goldfinger parody. So I think that's correct.
Anyways, may have known if I just died, but that was intentional. Basically, we went to get a little skip travel point. That was before this crystal, so now we're not in combat. And then we can go and get the quest items. So we got our big crystal, and that's going to be very important because now we're going to be able to attack the Fog King. But first, we're going to do another boss route. And these ones are going to be a little more tricky than the previous ones. First is Mammut. So I'm going to go and use Hangry and use Aratoast. And they take less damage from the front. So I'm going to try to kind of like get aggro and have it so Shulk's physical attacks do more by having him attack from the side or back.
Now, casual mode helps you avoid having to do a lot of grinding, of course, but I'm assuming in a run like this, you're still running at like a sizable level deficit, and therefore you have to be a lot better at this combat to navigate these sorts of things.
Yeah, it's going to get pretty scary for some of the later bosses. This boss we thankfully didn't see. It has an art called Sumo Step. So, you know how I topple them and they're on the ground, they can't do anything? The enemy can do that to me too. And they can do it to the whole party. So I basically was trying to interrupt them and just hoping that it didn't happen. Thankfully, we did not see Sumo Stomp. So the fight was pretty smooth. And then immediately we're going to fight... remember the big spider we saw? We're going to have to fight one of those, but it's going to be a little different than what we usually do. So I'm going to do a Union Strike, and if I did a good job, we would win one shot. But the thing is, I don't want to do a good job. I need to go and build up for a Union Strike for the next fight. So what I'm going to do is I'm kind of just going to set the controller down for a little bit. And that way, you can see that those little enemies are there. And hopefully I can get some party gauge off of them. So I got a Burst Affinity, and I got it. And now we're just gonna go and clean up the boss. Alright, and there's our Ample King. And now this is the reason that I wanted to get a lot of gauge. We're gonna fight one of those big dinosaurs that we've seen. Except there's also going to be a whole lot of bats. And this is pretty dangerous. So I'm going to want to get Union Strike as quickly as possible. So hopefully we get some critical hits, which is what makes the little meter go up. Almost there. Alright, there we go. Full Union Strike. Alright, and I did a very good one as well. Although, we will probably still have to fight the boss. I made sure all the little bats are taken out. You also might have heard Melia yell Starlight Kick. That's her pop-up move, and we're going to be very reliant on that in an upcoming fight.
It's like a Sailor Moon attack. I like it.
Yes. I love Starlight Kick. It's the best sound to go in here, as it means that everything is alright. So anyways, remember Alchemoth? We're gonna go back there, because it's final boss time. Alright,
Unfortunately, we're returning to Alchemoth, so there will be enemies this time?
There will be one enemy, and they'll actually help me quite a bit. They're gonna be up around here, and Union Strike is very helpful, and I'm going to want to do one for the final boss. I want to have meter, and this is very funny I mentioned this. Nate's going to say something when we start this fight, because the enemy's super high, and it kind of sounds like she's saying this is a speed run. I'm honestly not sure what her dialogue is, but I've always found this to be a very funny line. I'll try not to talk for it. I have no idea what she is actually saying, but that's always how I've interpreted it. So anyways, this is not a boss, nor are they particularly important. They are a fog beast, but they're optional. I have no interest in actually fighting them. I'm just trying to get the party age up. And we are not full, so we're gonna go and start heading to the final boss. And this fight is particularly nice versus Affinity. That's just a random thing that we very much want to see for the next fight. This fight is a little difficult as Nene, so hopefully we can survive. That's one of the reasons we have full gauge, and since it's going to be perfectly fine, we will hope that things are going to be perfectly fine. For the sake of just a scary death that can happen, I am going to save right now. We'll save here, and we will begin our Fog King fight.
Amazing. Super quick before we get too invested into the Fog King fight, I just want to chime in super quick. We have stalled out on that Neon Beats incentive. We're at 710. Our goal is to get halfway. We've got this and the run after this. The Neon Beats All Music Notes incentive actually fundamentally changes the soundtrack of the game and makes it more hype. So if you are jamming out to the Xenoblade tunes here, we want to keep that energy rolling forward. Thank you so much, everyone.
Alright, and the fight actually, in the meantime, went extremely well. I got the Union Strike, and my goal is to not do too much damage with it, because I was trying to sort of basically spend a lot of this fight building up gauge, but we're already almost full, which is really nice. So since the gauge is basically full, I mean now it actually is full, I have not much else to worry about except for getting this HP bar down. They're gonna do a little taunt, some hammer beats, hopefully aggro back. You can do it, Nene, I believe in you.
Let's go, Nene.
Alright. Another hammer beat? And feather sweat? Right, there we go, Fog King. They finally started looking at her. And phase 1 is done. This is a 2-phase fight. So, phase 2. I wonder if I mentioned this before, but those little things called Summon Knights, those are very dangerous, and they summoned 3 of them this time. And if they were to, say, be alive while I was doing the fight, we would probably get a game over. So it's very nice to start with Union Strike, as that's gonna just get rid of those. Now I'm gonna turn the boss, and have them kind of try to face away from the party. That's because Fog King is unique in that their auto attacks attack everyone. So it's going to be very important to keep the attention on Nene. Alright, we got our topple from the Daze them. And we use Hammer Beat, followed by Glad Taunt. Hopefully that's enough. Alright, there we go, good job. Okay, and Mist Press. So I mentioned the enemies who topple you. This topples you for 17 seconds. So I'm gonna stand here. I stood next to Melia, but I guess she had too much to do. And instead, Shock decided to help me. But yeah, that's basically the way you can manage that, is just standing in the right spots. Anyway, time is gonna be coming up actually pretty soon. I'm basically just trying to get my last Union Strike. Alright. And unfortunately, they use Convergence Beam. So, we're gonna have to wait till this little beam goes off. But once it does, we're gonna do the Union Strike. There we go.
They're just really dragging out this exciting moment.
Yeah. It's always unfortunate if you hit them at the same time. That's it. And time is... Well, I don't know if this is gonna kill. I did perfect. And they killed. Alright, time.
GG!
There we go. A little silly of an ending, but the run went really well. That went very well for a Nene Fog King fight. Admittedly, I was a little nervous about doing it, because she has the slowest fights overall between the 3 characters. But it looks like things went pretty well.
Totally.
GG on the fantastic run. Can you tell the folks at home where they can find you and your communities?
They can find me at AlexisGoesMoo. I stream a bit on Twitch. And there's a lot of other Xenoblade runs as well. I personally prefer Future Connected. But there's a lot of other Xenoblade runs if anyone's interested, including the run that we're going to be seeing right after this one.
Mug, anything from you?
Oh yeah, I'm Sergeant Along for the Ride Mug. You can find me on twitch.com at SGTMUG. I never play Xenoblade Chronicles, but if you like hearing me talk, you can come check me out there. I mostly just do a lot of drawing.
Kung Fu for Cup here, and I am with Swiftaloo, and we wanted to, talk about some prizes.
Yeah.
I think it's time to talk about prizes.
I know. So the first thing to mention today is that if you donate $50 right now, you are going to be entered for all the prizes that we're about to talk about, including this Wooper plush that we're not going to show off quite yet, but
yes.
But
if you like Wooper and you have ever wanted a life-size Wooper, $50 will put you toward that today. And so you'll get to see that a little bit later on. But
yes. And speaking of, if you put $50, you can put it towards an incentive and also be entered for these lovely coasters. So we have a Link's Awakening DX run later today. It is a bonus game. It is in studio. Definitely get your donations in for that. These are made by Kinda Nerdy Housewife, and they're very, very lovely. So well made. You got the very solid perler design, and then you have a coaster on the back. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and you got 2 sets of Link, 2 sets of Marin, and they're beautiful. Kind of Nerdy Housewife is a wonderful prize runner we have, and Runner, yeah, a gorgeous set. And I'm so excited for Link's Awakening tonight. So really pumped about this. This is not our only Zelda thing we want to show off today. I know about that. But I am also a huge fan of not only Zelda, but also, if you can't tell, but also Undertale. So we have this awesome set of Undertale figurines brought to us by Fangamer. This is a $10 minimum donation, and it's got, you know, some of your favorite characters. You got Papyrus, or as a friend of mine likes to say, Papyrus, which will irritate me to no end. I know, I don't know why. I'm not sure why, but we have Papyrus, we have Sans, we have Toriel, aka Goat Mom, we have the human, which I think is hilarious. But we have Lesser Dog, which is one of my favorite things that it's added to this set.
Oh my goodness.
You have like your core cast, and then Lesser Dog is there. So, Lesser Dog's over here. There we go. I'm looking at the back where they show all of the characters here. But it's a wonderful set. Again, thank you to Fangamer for this $10 minimum donation. It's so good. I don't know. I could talk about Undertale like all day, but I could also talk about Zelda.
Yes.
But let's talk about some other things.
Oh my goodness. So we have this lovely Snob Perler sent in by Greta Ice Vixen. It is a $10 minimum donation. Thank you so much, Greta, for sending this in. I know she sent in a lot of Perlers this event. This one actually showcases the more less solid Perler and more like the open Perler. I quite like this a lot.
I do too.
And I really like her Perlers. They feel very, very nice in the hand to hold.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. It's so smooth.
I know.
Holy moly. It's like,
it feels so nice.
It's
to
perfect.
hold.
It's like perfect. This is really wonderful. And I know how much we are all loving Snom here. We are loving Snoms. So I just want to see more Snoms in the chat, please. Because like your sweet little baby is right here. $10 minimum donation. There we go. This is awesome. But coming up later today, we do have Dicey Dungeons. I know we mentioned this earlier, but I didn't get to see it myself until now. Oh, wait, let's go over the needle felt first. I got way ahead of myself.
It's okay. I know, I'm just so excited for Dicey Dungeons. So we have this amazing posable needle felt lady luck doll sent in by Stabby Needle Studios. Amazing name, by the way.
Such a good name.
It's actually a little bit sparkly here on the arms.
The detail in here.
So pretty. And there's so much detail. I have no idea how you did the hair, but you did an amazing job.
Yeah, turn it around. Let's see the back too.
Yeah,
it looks
we got the
so
tape
good.
and as well.
And it comes on the little stand, so you can like, it's all propped up and ready to go. She looks so pretty.
I know. I love it so much. It's so soft too. I love it.
Yes.
$10 minimum donation will get you in to enter to win for that. And then...
Okay, all right. Okay, I got ahead of myself. Sorry, but let's go over the Lady Luck painting because this is from Marlo Adobado, and it is a $25 minimum donation. Somebody who works on the game. It's an amazing painting here. You can see kind of like the combination of... paint and such here. I love
you can see like the brush strokes. She is actually the artist for the game, and I said it earlier. I love her style so much.
Brush strokes.
Her style is incredible. I know.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely perfect. It goes along perfectly with the design in the game. It's so cool. So make sure that I can hold this straight. I promise.
It is so gorgeous.
So $25 minimum donation, but that is not the only piece of artwork we have for that.
No,
Let's go over, I don't know which one to go over first. Let's do this one first. We have this Luigi's Mansion. This is a backlight painting. So this is another $25 minimum donation. This is from Carolyn Design, and it's so cool. We have like a bunch of our kind of like boss-like characters here, a bunch of the ghosts that we get, of course, King Boo, and we have our like terrified Luigi, because like, oh my gosh, and the dog is on it. I love that you can see the dog as well.
It's blacklight, so if you've seen that image, you can see it glowing a little bit there too in the preview. It like obviously it's not dark right here, but
there we go.
It's so pretty.
Yeah,
be sure to check it out.
It's a gorgeous piece of work. You've got everything like touched up on the side. Oh, I see the oh my gosh.
Signature.
Wait, the signature on the back says Mario. Which is so funny. I love that. I love that so much. So yeah, the blacklight painting, super, super cool. Okay. And
beautiful acrylic piece.
Yes, I agree. Let's set this down gently right here. Here we go. And then we kind of wanted like a last but not least, because did you know that we have a bonus game today?
Yes.
And that is Link's Awakening?
Yes.
Did you know that? Just a quick reminder. We have this gorgeous Link and Marin original watercolor painting, $25 minimum donation. This is from Geekella, and it's like perfect.
It looks so much like the Is it Game Boy or is it Game Boy Color? I think it's Game Boy, right?
The original is on the Game Boy.
Yeah, Yes, it looks
DX
so much.
was the color version.
It looks so much like it's from the Game Boy version because I mean you got the Game Boy colors right there. Oh my god,
I know,
love
right? It literally, it's just like the scene from the game. So it's just such a nostalgic piece. It's such like a beautifully done piece of work. Again,
Yeah,
this is watercolor.
It's handmade. It's not a print.
It is not a print. That's correct. Yeah, you can see if you look up close, you can see the detail that went into it, and again, like the kind of like handmade. You can tell it's not a print. That's what we're getting at here. But it's a lovely piece. I love it so much. I love Link's Awakening. It is my favorite handheld Zelda game. So this really stood out to me. It's so nice. Here you go. One more time for you all. Boom.
Thank
right
you
here.
so much,
Here you go.
Mikella, for sending this in.
Peeking out. $25 minimum donation. Please, like, take this home, love it, cherish it. It's so cute and pretty. I love it so much. And then don't forget about our grand prize.
So
I'm obsessed with it.
It is so pretty.
Yes.
It is a $200 donation. However,
it is a cumulative.
It is cumulative. Yes. So throughout the week, you can send a little bit in, today, maybe send in a little bit tomorrow. And if you keep doing that, eventually it'll add up.
You can get entered to win for like the beautiful prize we've shown off today, including obviously the Link's Awakening painting
today,
or the $50 life-size Whooper. That would be like a quarter of the way there. Anyway, like you need to check out the Queen's Gardens Respite miniature. It's so amazing. Like I know we have it in studio now. We've shown it off before. I want to show it off again. I'm actually obsessed with it. I can't stop thinking about it. It's so perfect.
No,
it's gorgeous.
It is beautiful. Thank you so much, Sky Bergson, for sending that in. Just gorgeous craft work.
Agreed. Okay, well, thank you all so much for checking out some prizes with us today. I know we have more runs coming up. This is kind of our little Xenoblade mini block. So we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3 feature redeemed coming up next. It's going to be so good. I am a personal Xenoblade fan. I actually really, really enjoy the Xenoblade games. If you like RPGs, you should. I recommend.
I know.
I do. So we're going to hand it up to that because Super Boss's Percent is going to be an amazing category. So please take it away. It's going to be so good. Pico, good luck.